All right, we are here with state champion and senior captain Bennett Wright of the Davis Stars basketball team. And I want to get your perspective of this year. What does it feel like to be a state champion?
It's still surreal a little bit. We've been working at this for literally since springtime, and it's kind of surreal that we kind of did it, and it all happened so fast. Like the state tournament is only 1 week, really. Still surreal. I can hardly believe it. Our rings are coming soon, so excited for that. But yeah,
That's awesome. Take me through this time last year. Did you know going into this coming season that you would have this chance to win it, or was there a moment in the season where you were like, we might be doing something special this year?
so I always knew we were really talented, and that we would have the talent to go all the way. But like from spring to fall, we probably only lost 5 or 6 games in all the tournaments, leagues, everything that we did. So we kind of entered the season having that confidence. But I'd say there's probably 2 moments where I felt like we were like, dang, we could really do this. Opening night, we played Copper Hills, and Copper Hills is a pretty good team. They were I don't know their ranking preseason, but it was pretty high. And Coach Sims told us it was going to be a dogfight, and so we prepared accordingly, and we ended up beating them by like 40 points or something, and that kind of gave us a good confidence boost where we were like, okay, we could do this. And then I would say the second one is the second Layton game. First Layton game, we lost by 20. It was a really big wake-up call. I feel like we got a little bit comfortable, but that second one, we ended up beating them by 20, so we kind of switched, and it was just really, it was kind of the same thing as Copper Hills. It's like, dang, we can do this, and kind of another confidence boost that we could go all the way. So
Yeah, what was it like playing Layton 3 times on the year? Because you met him again in the semis of the state tournament, right? So what is it like trying to beat a team 3 times in a year?
Layton's great. I mean, it's a great rivalry. I don't know if you guys know this, but last time we beat them up until this year was my freshman year. So they had won, I think, 4 or 5 games in a row. So there was some urgency there with that. And they took the first one, kind of sucked, punch in the face. But I think it was the best thing that could have happened to us, honestly. Like it got us refocused and to what we really needed to be doing. We beat them the second time, gave us some confidence. We won region. Then going into the state playoffs, we saw our draw, and we're like, we're going to play Layton in the semis. Like, we knew it was going to happen, and I feel like we felt pretty confident going in that we could do it.
Yeah, my the co-host who's usually with me, the other Eric, I was at your game against Westlake, and I was sitting kind of on that very front row, and I'm texting him, and I'm like, Davis scares me. Like, you guys are so fast, you're so strong, you're so aggressive.
Thank you.
And then he watched the Layton game against Lone Peak where they blew them out. And he's like, I don't know. I think Layton's going to win. So we both kind of had this bet on who would win out of you guys. And you guys won it for me. So thank you.
Yeah.
Take me through, what is a Kumbaya moment?
So it's kind of a Chad Sims trademark a little bit, but Kumbaya is essentially, and Chad Sims, he's really heavy on communication, like communicating on everything that we do. And that's something that I really love about him. Kumbaya is essentially just a team meeting where we get together, kind of work out some kinks. But yeah, really just like let it all out there. Like he always says, if you don't say anything in here, then you're not going to be able to say it out there, like to your parents or your peers. So it's kind of just like a trust circle is how I view it. And I've always really appreciated them, honestly.
Yeah, take me through kind of we've heard from other teammates and Chad himself of before the season even starts, he sits down with you and your parents and you go through what is your role, what is the team going to be looking like in playing time. What did that look like for you, and what did you understand your role on the team this year?
That's another thing I kind of appreciate about him is this year he was able to set roles really early. He talked to me and Bryker. I don't know if he said this to Bryker, but he gave me an option to see if I wanted to start. But he's like, I really think that we can be really good if you come off the bench. And I just trusted in him. I feel like when he was able to set my role early in the season, it was a lot easier to get over the fact that I wasn't starting my senior year. Like, that was hard, I'm not going to lie, but I was over it in like May as opposed to getting over it in like the middle of the season. Also, I was able to focus on more things that I knew I would be doing. For instance, like shooting the ball. I got up thousands of shots in the off season, and that really helped me kind of thrive in my role in the season. So
That's awesome. I think such a trademark of really good teams is having players that buy into whatever that role is. And it can be hard to not be necessarily what you thought growing up would be. So take me through kind of your younger years. What did basketball look like for you growing up?
for basketball standards now, I was a little bit of a late starter, I guess. I was a soccer guy up until 6th grade. Then I started basketball. I went right into basketball with Sean Green. He's one of the assistant coaches here. I was never really I was always a soccer guy. I didn't really expect to play basketball, but now I'm here and I love it.
Why?
Fell in love
Why?
with it.
Why did you go to basketball? Was it just you knew Sean and he
So,
persuaded you, or what did that look like?
so my dad and oldest brother have always been big basketball guys. So I've always been around the sport, like watched it and stuff. I kind of got bored with soccer a little bit and instantly fell in love with basketball. Like I remember the 5th grade summer, there was probably a 2 or 3 week period where I'd wake up at like 6:30 before it got hot, go outside, get shots up, do whatever, ball handling. And that was kind of like in those hours, I would say is where I really fell in love with it. And my dad said he said he saw me improve like so much during that time. And so just like little moments like that are kind of what drew me to the sport. I don't know, I've loved it ever since. So
What if you are going out and you're going to go play basketball kind of by yourself, what is your favorite thing with basketball? Is it shooting? Is it shooting threes? Is it driving, ball handling? What is your favorite part about basketball?
I think the individual drills are great, but I would say is like just my imagination, kind of like imagining in-game scenarios, in-game plays, like what moves I'd make. That's kind of honestly what made me fall in love with it. Is it's so easy to have fun with when you're by yourself, and in that you get better.
That imagination, I mean, we all, even when we were this age, imagined winning a state championship.
Oh yeah.
At what moment in that game did you realize we just did it? Well, because it had to be before that final buzzer, but at what moment or what was that feeling and sensation like for you?
We were down the whole game, got up in the 4th quarter. We were up probably 8 or 9 points with, I think, a minute and a half left. And I was like, there's still a small chance they could come back. So I was stressing still, but we're like, there's still a small chance. We got to go. But I would say the moment that Coach Meacham subbed out their starters, Kale and Carlo, is probably the moment where we like, wow, we did it. Like me, Bodie, Croydon, and Brecker were all standing at half court, just like losing our mind a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll never forget that moment.
That's super cool. I think there's a picture out there of that, and it's awesome. So what did that celebration look like? So you win the game, and then you've got to cut down the nets. You've got pictures. Like, when did you end up getting out of there? What did that look like?
It was probably an hour and a half after the game. So yeah, we won, ran to our mob, celebrated, cut down the nets. Family was on the court, friends were on the court, just taking pictures. I'll never forget it. We go back in the locker room, come back out, there's still people. Yeah, it was probably like an hour after we got on the bus and left. So yeah, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. So
how would you describe your playing style?
My role and playing style, it's changed a little bit. Growing up, I was always the point guard. I always had the ball in my hands. But this past like year and a half, I've kind of had to change it a little bit. And Coach Sims and a few other people, they kind of compared me to Jordan Clarkson. Like they want me to come off the bench, shoot the ball, just be like a flamethrower a little bit. So I would say someone who can just come in and just make something happen.
Yeah.
Hit some shots.
So non-NBA guys, growing up, did you ever have high school players or college players that you looked up to and you thought, oh, I'd like to play like them?
Yeah, I would say I was a Farmington guy. I was in Farmington boundaries growing up. So, Colin Chandler, I'd say he's one. Also, I'm a Utah State fan, so Sam Merrill, just seeing him tear up the Mountain West. I think those two guys, non-NBA players, I would try to emulate a lot.
Can you take us through game day? So it's a game day at Davis High. What are the traditions that you have both personally and as a team?
This year especially, we kind of tried to hammer down a routine. And that's kind of something when we were in Seattle for our out-of-state tournament is what we really tried to focus on because we knew it'll be similar to the state tournament. Routine, wake up, go to school, whether it's home or away, we always do walkthrough, either in 8th period basketball class or after school. And then we all go home. Me personally, I take a nap, wake up, eat. We get there at 5:30 for like half of the JV game. Go in at 6. We're listening to music. We're having fun. With about 45 minutes left, probably around 6:15, we start like locking in on the game plan. I mean, we're always talking about it, but 6:15, we're always locking in. And then 6:30, we get ready to go out there and go warm up. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Do you have any superstitions?
Me personally, no. I mean, Coleman Atwater might tell you. I think every game this year, he walked in the JV game with a bag of Wendy's. So he might tell you that is, but
That's funny. Croydon said the same thing.
yeah.
We had an episode here on the types of basketball shoes we like. So what shoes are your go-to shoes? What are your favorite basketball shoes?
I've had a lot of good ones. Recently, the LeBron 20s, really good. Honestly, any Kobe's. Kind of like that low, tight fit, lightweight, good grip. All of those is what I've had the best experiences with, honestly.
Did you have any like team rules around that this year of what colors are yes or no? Or
So historically, we've always bought a team shoe where we all get the same one. But this year, the seniors, we kind of wanted to change that and kind of make it just white shoes. So like you could get any shoe you want, but just make sure it's like white and black. So
take me through what that was like of being a team captain. What did you feel? Did you feel that responsibility? Did you feel that weight? And what did you feel like you were supposed to do in that role?
I mean, it felt great when I got named a team captain, but I feel like it really has been going on since spring. Like I feel like I was kind of a team captain. I bet Croydon, Coleman, Brecker would tell you the same thing. Like we've been the captains kind of since the spring. Like we're all leaders in our own way, I feel like. But yeah, being team captain felt great. So
what's your way of being a leader?
I'm kind of like the nurturer, I would say. Brecker is the vocalist, and then Coleman and Croydon kind of lead by example. But yeah, I feel like I'm kind of making sure everyone's staying together, like cracking jokes. Brecker's always the on-court coach, whether he's on or off, actually. But yeah, I would say I just keep the group together.
What is it like playing for Coach Sims? What do you admire about him?
Coach Sims is great. I mean, I kind of said it earlier. What I love about him is he's so good at communicating. And so I always know personally what I need to do on the court. I always know my role, and I'm sure the other guys would say the same thing. When I'm playing for him, I feel like I can be myself, and I know what's expected of me.
Well, it seems like with your Kumbaya moments, it feels like you guys have that freedom and safety to express your feelings both ways, right? Not just him telling you what to do, but you can express how you feel as well.
For sure, yeah.
Take me through your other teammates. What do you admire about some of your teammates?
Off the top of my head, I haven't really talked about him, but Bodie Sparrow, he has the shortest memory I've ever seen, and that's a great thing. Like, don't get it twisted. That is an amazing trait to have, because I envy it, honestly. He can miss a shot, and next one it's going in. Like, he forgets about it like that, and I feel like that's a really good trait to have because he's so aggressive.
Do you say that because you have struggled with that? Do you have a hard time getting over
sure.
Because we have someone over here and his dad who had the same problem of perfectionism.
For sure.
So how did you try to get over that? And again, I've never gotten over that, but what did you try to do to tell yourself to help yourself with that?
It helped me with knowing what my role is and knowing that if I take the right shots, it doesn't matter if they go in. Obviously, I'm trying to make every single shot. But if I have an off night, that's fine as long as I'm taking the correct shots.
What do you like off the court? What do you like to do outside of basketball and sports?
I don't know. I'm just a normal kid. I like to hang out with my friends, getting into golf a little bit, rec sports since I'm done with my high school career. But yeah, I'm just getting ready for after high school. So yeah,
that's awesome. I was gonna ask too on your game day. What's your game day playlist? What music's playing?
You know, Brecker's got that one. He's got the playlist. You know, he's always playing Kanye West, Drake, Lil Uzi Vert, just all that rap.
from the high school experience, again, we made this whole show around young kids and their parents to try to help them understand the high school experience. So in your life now that it's over in high school from a basketball perspective, what was harder than you expected it to be?
The pace was really, really hard for me to adjust to. Like, obviously, you just want to go in and dominate going into high school. It wasn't really the case for me, honestly. You know, I had those expectations, but the pace was really hard to adjust to. Like, I'm turning over the ball, missing shots. Like, I had to get my shot a lot quicker from a release perspective. But I would say the hardest thing is pace. But also, you just have to understand that it's going to be hard. Like, it's most likely not going to go how you expect it to go. It didn't for me, but I'm glad it didn't, honestly. I've seen personal growth. I have a state championship. But yeah, I've seen tremendous like blessings from that. So
yeah, are there any plays that stand out to you specifically that you were able to accomplish this year that you look back and you're like, that was pretty cool?
Yeah. I think of the third Layton game in the semis. We were down, I think, 11 in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, and then I kind of got it going in the second half, hit a few threes, got a few layups, which is kind of my role. So being able to do that in the semis against a rival was something I'll never forget.
Yeah, that was a big turnaround in that game because you guys kind of got down big and then you went on this huge tear that was awesome. We have a couple of questions from Instagram if you're ready for these.
Oh, boy.
What player inspired your swagger that you play with?
Oof, that's a good question.
This is from Griffin Brostrom.
It's my best friend.
Okay.
Specific player, Donovan Mitchell. He was kind of thriving when I started getting into basketball, so I was a super fan of the Jazz and Donovan Mitchell. So him for sure. Sam Merrill, I already said it. He's a baller. Also, Devin Booker is someone I tried to emulate, especially in the past 2 years with the change of my play style. I tried to emulate his form, his shot selection, his shot creation, just all of it. So, yeah, probably those players.
Nice. Our shoe episode, Devin Booker Book Ones are my favorite shoe right now. So.
Oh, really? I've actually been wanting to try those out.
I have my 7th pair that is here, so it's become a problem for me.
I'm going to need to try them out.
Who was the hardest to score on in practice?
I would say, for me, Breiker. You know, we've been playing with each other since 7th, 8th grade, against each other since 6th grade, but he knows all my moves. I know all his moves, and he's a brick wall, so
nice.
Kind of.
That was asked by Ian Vinberg, so you'll be disappointed. The Instagram account is By Their Fruits You Shall Know Them, and it is, what are your dreams now?
Right now, I'm focusing on my mission. I'm going to be going on a mission in August, so I'm excited for that.
Do you have your call?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm turning my papers next week.
Nice.
So I'm super excited for that, and after that, we're just going to see. So
nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking this time with us. I have kind of one last question. You can take it as long or as short as you want, but I want you to transport yourself back to freshman you, and you're able to talk to yourself. What advice would you give yourself?
That's a really good question. I would just say stick with it, and I feel like I did, but there were times, especially my sophomore and junior year, that I really was hard on myself. And the expectations I put on myself, it wasn't from anyone else, it was from myself. They were hard to deal with because I wasn't really meeting those expectations that I had. And so, yeah, I would just tell myself to stick with it and it'll all work out, which it did. So,
are those expectations to score more, to play more, to make, what were the expectations you were setting on yourself?
I mean, just at all. I'm the type of guy that, I mean, I'm sure everyone does, but I want to start as a freshman, right? And I want to play as many minutes as possible. I want to score as many points as possible. And I set that expectation really high, and I'm glad I did. Like, I like to be ambitious, but it's good to know what really matters too. And I think I've realized that as a senior.
Well, you were awesome. Thank you for taking this time, and what an accomplishment. There's only one team in your class that is able to say they're state champions, and everybody wants to be you right now. And so that's That's awesome. And so for those who are watching and listening, your perspective is awesome. So thank you.
Thank you.